everyone, welcome to my channel. Today I have another dupe for you. I will be reviewing the Ucanbe palettes, which are supposed to be dupes to some of the Huda Beauty palettes. So if you are interested in seeing if these dupes perform well against the Huda Beauty palettes, please keep watching and like and subscribe to my channel. First up, we have the Twilight Dusk palette by Ucanbe. And this palette here is supposed to be a dupe for the Rose Gold Remastered. There are a couple of shades in here that compare to the Huda Beauty Desert Dusk palette. Interesting enough, if I show you these two palettes side by side here, the names of the Ucanbe palette are exactly the same as the Huda Beauty Desert Dusk palette. So that kind of makes me think that maybe the Twilight and Dusk palette is supposed to be a mixture of the two palettes. I'm not quite sure. These are the swatches to the Ucanbe Twilight and Dusk palette. These all applied very nicely. They're all very pigmented. This here is the Huda Beauty Desert Dusk palette. This one is quite pretty, and I got this one on sale for 50% off on the Huda Beauty website. There are two shades in the Desert Dusk palette by Huda Beauty that are pretty much identical to the shades in this palette, and they're both given the same name. Next up is the Ucanbe Aromas palette, and this one is a dupe to the Huda Beauty Nude palette. Next up we have the Huda Beauty Nude palette, and this one is gorgeous. The color story in here is lovely. The top row is the Huda Beauty Nude palette swatched. This is the palette that the Ucanbe palette is mimicking. The Huda Beauty swatched better on the top, however, the Ucanbe swatches next to it, they did swatch quite nicely. There are some differences in tones. However, I do think that with these two palettes, we'll be able to create a very similar look. Looking at this one next to the Aromas palette, I do think that the Aromas palette is a very good dupe just based on the color stories. The Ucanbe Twilight Dusk palette does retail for $15 US, and you can find it on their website, or you can find the set of the two palettes I'm going to show you today on Amazon for $26.99 Canadian. And to put things into perspective, both the Huda Beauty palettes I will show you today are $65 US or $82 Canadian on the Huda Beauty website. But the Huda Beauty Desert Dusk palette is on sale currently for, I think, half price. Now we're going to create a look using the Huda Beauty Nude palette. We're gonna do it on this side here. And on this side, we are going to use the Ucanbe Aromas palette, and we are gonna just see how great this palette performs compared to the Huda Beauty palette. And we're also gonna see if we can actually achieve the same look with both palettes. All right, now that I've got you zoomed in, I'm going to start with my crease shade. And let's see. Looking in the Huda Beauty Nude palette, I want to go in with the shade Teddy at the bottom there. I think that's a lovely shade. It's kind of a mixture between a nude and a pink, which I just love. All right, we're gonna go in with our trusty Luxie brush. Wow, that's very pigmented picking it up. So just kind of dab out some of the excess, and we're going to start buffing that into our crease here. Oh wow. That is really, really pretty. I think I'm gonna go in again though, because I just want to really build up that crease. In the Ucanbe Aromas palette, we are going to go in to shade Teddy. This side is really pretty too, actually. Now I think I'm gonna deepen up the crease just a little bit. I'm gonna go into shade Secret in the Huda Beauty palette, and I'm gonna take that shade and I'm also going to buff it into my crease. Wow. All right, and then I'm also going to go into shade Secret in this palette as well. This shade has a little bit of, it's a deeper shade. It's not quite as light pink as the other side, so just keep that in mind. This shade is darker I'm gonna go in a little bit more with the Secret in the Huda Beauty palette just to see if I can kind of deepen that up a little bit more. I'm gonna take shade Tease in the Huda Beauty palette. We're gonna take that into this with the same brush, and we're going to work that into our crease a little bit, but mostly the outer corner here. So we're gonna dab that in like this, really pat that in there. These shades do go on quite nicely, but I do want to really, really build that up. I think this is my third time going in. Next, we're going to do the other side the exact same way. We're going to go into shade Tease. Oh, okay, this one is, the shade Tease on this side is a lot darker. That's not really what I wanted. I think that the corresponding shade to shade Tease, or as close as we're gonna get, is shade Misty. So this is where it's gonna differ a bit. I'm not sure if this is the exact same shade. However, by looking at the colors, this one is the closest. We're just going to pat that in there. Oh yeah, this is really, really light. Okay, what I think I'm gonna do is I think I'm going to mix shade Misty and shade Tease in the Ucanbe palette. So I'm just going to really buff on a lot of shade Misty and then a tiny bit of shade Tease onto my brush. And let's see how that builds up. Yeah, that seems to work the best because that deepens up that shade a little bit, but you still get the purple hues that you got on this side. I like that. It is a slightly different. This side is a little bit more purple. This side's a little bit more pink. I'm gonna go into shade Tease again onto this side and just see if I can just deepen that up a little bit. I'm gonna add a little bit of a lighter purple onto the Huda Beauty side. So I'm gonna go into shade Lace right there. And I'm gonna work that into my crease here. On the Huda Beauty side, we're going to go into shade Daydream. Oh, there it is right there. And we're going to tap that all over our lid like this. I'm gonna add a little bit more, see if we can build that up a bit, although that is already very, very pigmented. Oh my goodness. Going to the other side. So this shade name is a little bit different. On the Ucanbe side, it is called shade Dream World. So we're gonna take some of that onto our finger and we're going to apply that. This side is not applying the same way as the Huda Beauty side. The glitters in the Ucanbe side are chunkier than the Huda Beauty side, and it doesn't seem to be picking up as much as the Huda Beauty side. We're gonna go into that again. It's just not the same. We're going to go into shade Charmed at the bottom here. We're gonna take that onto our finger and we're just going to press that into the corner. I got a lot of it on the side here. I'm gonna take my beauty blender and just clean that up. There we go. And on this side, that shade is called Castle. And we're gonna do the same thing. We're gonna take it on our outer corner. And last, we're going to add an inner corner shade. I'm going to go into the Huda Beauty side and add in shade Crave at the top there. I'm going to take my favorite inner corner brush and I'm going to go into that shade right there and we're just going to add that. We're going to go into the Ucanbe palette into shade Eager. That's the corresponding shade on this side. Okay. Looking at my eyes, there's definitely a little bit more fallout on this side than the Huda Beauty side. So we're just gonna take our beauty blender and tidy it up a bit underneath. I'm going to go back into the shade Secret and I'm going to buff that into our crease. I'm going to take that brush, not apply any more powder, but I'm going to take it a bit on the bottom of my eye there. I'm going to go into the other side, into shade Secret again. tap some of that off and just buff it into my crease again. I'm just going to buff that. Final thoughts. I think that this was an incredible dupe for the new Nude palette. I am quite impressed with how it turned out. Just keep in mind that some of the shades are a little bit different in tones. However, that's the case with most dupes, but if you want to create a very similar look to this, I think this palette really achieves that. In terms of the quality is very good. These blended quite nicely. However, the glitter shades are very different from the Huda Beauty formula. Huda Beauty formula is very finely milled. It applies very smoothly to the eye, where the glitters in these palettes are chunkier. However, it is still pretty, and if you like chunky glitters, I think you will really like this palette. Even if you don't like them as much, for the price, I think that this palette is worth it. I will definitely have to try out the Twilight Dusk palette and see if that also performs well. However, I'm going to assume that the Ucanbe formula is going to be very similar in both of these palettes. I don't think that these were perfect dupes to the Huda Beauty palettes, but they do come very close. And if you are interested in these palettes, I would definitely check it out on Amazon, because you get free 2-day shipping if you have Prime, and you can get both of these palettes for $26.99 Canadian, or you can even buy these palettes separate. And if you're interested in any of the Huda Beauty palettes, I would recommend ordering them from the website instead of from Sephora, because you actually pay a couple dollars cheaper than the Sephora website. If you enjoyed this video, please like and subscribe to my channel, and comment down below if you will be purchasing any of these palettes, whether you're buying the Ucanbe palettes or you want to buy some of the Huda Beauty palettes. Leave me that down in the comments below. And please comment also, what side do you think looks better? Again, do you like the Huda Beauty side, or do you like the Ucanbe side? So thank you for joining me today, and I look forward to seeing you in my next video, and I hope you have a wonderful day. Bye.